Chapter 5. Ilio. A date? No, he was just a lonely straight guy whose engagement had fallen apart. I shouldn't read anything into it. It was just lunch. Everybody eats lunch. We'll swap stories, be friends for a while, then he'll go back to wherever he's from. The usual tourist gig. I moved one of the chair haulers from the storage closets and down the corridor to the banquet hall. We had to get it ready for some big lunchtime event. Did they tell us what it was? No, just that it had to be set up a certain way and how many tables and chairs they needed. 3 haulers in, and we weren't anywhere close to what they wanted. The deadline was 11. Time to hustle. Except Lynette was standing by the filigree door. Illy, I need a word. I didn't like her tone of voice, or the severe manner she crossed her arms in front of her. She led us down the hall, and the other workers gave us some space. I think we all knew what was coming. What can I do for you? I said. Explain what happened at the luau last night. Crap. Somebody had complained. Daniel? I've already apologized to Mr. Roberson, if that's what you mean. No, I hadn't heard about that part. Perhaps you should tell me exactly what happened. I did, sparing no detail. It sounds like one for the books. No, I merely came to see you because the Whitakers had a wonderful time and wanted to congratulate you. I guess they were the couple that took the Robersons' place, and they were very complimentary. Oh, thank you. The Roberson matter is a different story. I'm glad you've apologized. I'll let you know if anything comes of it. What I needed to see you about was the Hotel Ironman this weekend. Have you found a partner yet? No, ma'am, not yet. If you don't find one by the end of today, you'll have to drop out. Understood. I'll keep looking. I didn't tell her I was so busy taking care of Timmy's final affairs that I hadn't even thought about the competition. It wasn't really an Ironman, just an attempt at employee camaraderie. A simple 5K race followed by a kilometer of surfing. I can handle the surfing part quite easily. It's the running part that I don't do so well. Last year, my boyfriend Noah did the running, and then a week later we broke up. With that, Lynette was gone, and we were back to the exciting job of setting up chairs. You'd think that working in a place like the Monarch Imperial would be glamorous, a dream job. It isn't. Reality has a way of intruding. It does have some nice beachfront property, and sometimes the surf is beyond nice. My phone rang. Mom. Hey, I need you to pick up Leilani's prescription from Walmart on your way home tonight. Her asthma is acting up again. Okay. Mom hung up. When she was at work, she barely had time for that much of a conversation. Some days I was more of a parent than she was. By the time we finished setting up the chairs and tables, it was 11, and I headed for the Sand Crab. Lunch date. Not exactly, but still lunch. When I got there, Daniel sat at a table far from the bar, his laptop open and not turned on. He stared at the ocean. His eyes were red and a little puffy. Still the same clothes as this morning and yesterday. More wrinkled than ever. He was still as cute. Stay calm, my beating heart. Here is a man who just had the life stolen from him. It's not time for anything remotely romantic. Or flirtatious. Well, just a little won't hurt. He hadn't shaved, hair a little untidy. His clothes had that lived-in look, and his ears were a little pink. You must be a minimalist, I said, walking to his table. Daniel's eyes focused. What? Your outfit. I've seen some people change every hour, and you only have the one? The rest are in Chicago, last I checked. You're from Illinois? I took a seat across from him. Barney brought me a cola, and Daniel another coffee. He had 3 empty cups before him. Dead Man's Butte, Nevada. That's not anywhere close to Chicago. What are they doing there? He almost chuckled. Ask the airlines. So tell me about the person you were honoring this morning. Timmy, I said. I've got pictures. I pulled up the most recent on the phone and showed him. Daniel looked at it, brows furrowing. That's you and a really big dog? I have had him for 11 years. We did everything together. We were closer than brothers. I even taught him to ride the boards with me. After my accident, he helped me learn to walk again. When he died, it was like somebody ripped a piece out of me. The same thing happened when I picked up his ashes yesterday and this morning. Some things you don't get over, and I doubt I ever will. They say losing a dog is like losing a child or a brother. Why call him Timmy? It was one of those names you think are cool when you're 12. I sat back and waved Barney over. You recognized what the ashes were, didn't you? Who did you lose? My mom, 10 years ago. Me and my brothers were with my dad when he poured her ashes on the desert. We sat in another zone of silence. Barney came over and we ordered foot-long subs. Mine was an Italian meat special, while Daniel ordered a simple cheese and tomato. Barney's staff makes good food. You thought it was a person, didn't you? Daniel sipped his coffee. I did. Who did you think it was? You'll laugh. Good. I need a good laugh, I said. We're too serious. I figured it had to be someone very important, more than a best friend, so I imagined you were burying your boyfriend at sea. Timmy was a lot more loyal than my last boyfriend. You're gay? He blurted that out, suddenly sitting up. Is that a problem? He smiled as if to some inside joke. No, it's my not coming out that caused the mess I'm in right now. Barney brought over the subs, refilled Daniel's coffee, and set another cola before me. How about that? A closet gay man, and one that would look good standing next to Annie's surfboard. Maybe there's some potential. You want to talk about it? Daniel looked at the ocean and bit his lip. Ashley and Xander. It's my baggage, not something you want to hear. Consider it my way of making things right for embarrassing you last night, I said, and took a bite of my sub. How many people know you're gay? My dad, you, Barney, and I told Ashley and Xander this morning. Ashley was furious with me for almost ruining her life. And Xander, the cheater? I couldn't tell. Why did you hide it for so long? I asked, setting my sub down. Daniel's eyes drooped, but it seemed more than jet lag. His eyes were blank, almost desperate. He bit his lower lip and looked away. Small tear tracks were around his eyes. His shirt was more wrinkled up close, and bits of last night's dinner had stained it. Because I was trying to be someone I thought they'd like, be more like my brothers. My family has this major sports image. My dad was in NFL, Derek was a football star back in college, and David is into baseball. I don't fit into the family, so I tried to be straight, be like them, but it's falling apart. Daniel stared at the ocean, not even nibbling his sub. I'm no good at conversations like this, not like Barney. He's a retired psychologist turned bartender. He's used to these deep conversations. Me? I think that's why my ex and I broke up. He said I was too shallow. As much as losing Timmy hurt me, I think Daniel's problems sound more serious than mine. I begin to wonder if maybe Daniel's problems are more serious than he can cope with. Here he is, 2,500 miles, or is it 3,000, from home. He could die, and nobody would know for weeks. The way he's talking, would anyone at home even care? He never trusted his family, or his best friend, or his fiancée. Who's looking out for him? How depressed is he? He looked at me, eyes pleading. This wasn't a lunch date. I think it was a cry for help. He's drowning, just like Billy. Daniel closed his laptop and packed it away. I'm sorry, I'm not very good company. I think I'd rather be alone right now, but before I go, I'll pay for your lunch. Why should I get involved any more than I am? We're not friends. We don't know each other. Nothing but strangers. I've never been to Nevada. He's never been to Hawaii before. He must have somebody he can turn to. But I think the answer to that is a resounding no. The last time I helped someone turned into a disaster, but I have to try. For Daniel's sake. For mine. For Billy's. I need a partner. Do you run? I said. At first, my question didn't seem to register. In a week is an employee competition, the Monarch Annual Mini Ironman. It's half surfing, half jogging. I can do the surfing part, but not the running. I was in a car accident when I was 16, and they had to rebuild my knee. I scooted the chair back and pulled up my shorts a little to show him the scar that extended from the inside of my thigh and ran for 5 inches down my left knee. Daniel looked down. I pulled the shorts a little higher and twisted my leg a little to show off the scar. I think he liked looking at my legs. Maybe I'm just a little bit vain. It's only a 5-kilometer run. What do you say? At least he wasn't leaving. He wasn't talking either. Time for a little flirting. I was checking you out this morning, just like you or me, and you keep in shape. You're no desk jockey bulging around the middle. Not with a waist like that. You run every day, don't you? Daniel paused, looking at the sub, then at me. I didn't like the haunted look in his eyes. Eat something before you insult Barney. Take a bite. How far do you run every day? Daniel picked up the sub and took a small bite. A couple of miles. Good, he started talking. I kind of figured with a body like that. How long have you been doing yoga? Since high school. 4 years. That makes us the same age. We're both legal. I reached out and took his hand. His eyes widened. His lips curled upwards a little. He didn't pull it back. Why me? Daniel asked. It's in the LGBTQ rule book. You help out someone who needs it. I'm only following the rules. Truthfully, I didn't want to hear of an unidentified male body washing up on shore some morning, one I had danced for, had lunch with, shared a quiet moment grieving with. This was starting to get a little personal. Besides, you can run, and I need a cute partner. one who will make everyone else jealous. You'll want one of my brothers for that. You got pictures? Daniel pulled out his phone, flicked through it, and held it up. 4 guys, 3 that looked alike, and then Daniel. They were blonde, he was a brunette, and he was easily a foot shorter than the tallest one. That's my dad to the right. Derek, he's the tallest and played football. And David, he's on the left and he played baseball. Doesn't David have a neck? How does Derek make it through doors? That made him smile. You'll have to ask their wives. You have a nice-looking family, but they look too tall for me. Too many muscles. I mean, they have muscles on top of their muscles. No, I prefer the leaner look. More like this guy down here. Now that's a guy I wouldn't mind exchanging phone numbers with. That's me. Daniel looked up. You're better looking in person. I loved the little look of panic that came over his face. I tapped my phone, brought up the number, and held it out for him to see. It's up to you. You'll be here for a week, maybe 2. Let's see what happens. Maybe we can cheer each other up. Hang out a little. What do you say? Daniel stared at his phone for almost a half a second before taking it back and dialing the number. It rang. I answered. Now we're not strangers.